So, you weren't that good in science in school. In fact, you hated those textbooks that you had to study.
That's why textbooks never ever interested me, because when I look at it, it looked dumb.
But unfortunately for you, the whole world revolves around science now. People don't want to listen to you unless you have something scientific to say. Now what do? There's a trick. You just have to use a couple of words that make you sound more scientific, more authoritative, like you know what you're talking about, like the advice you're giving is legitimate. You're watching Science is Dope. My name is Pranav, and this is a tutorial to teach you what those words are. So what are we waiting for? Let's get right to learning.
One important thing that you need to understand is, feminine is not a gender, it is a dimension.
Sadhguru recently used the word dimension a lot and he got a lot of flack for it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that he used the word. It's a great word, very scientific sounding, very versatile, and so you can see where our beloved Jaggi Bhai made his mistake. He used it too many times in too many different contexts that people realized that he was just bullshitting and they began calling him out for it. So don't be like Sadhguru. Use it sparingly, but use it in multiple different contexts. I'll show you exactly how to use the word. First, for that, you need to learn what the word actually means. See, whenever we need to locate anything in space, we have three axes, X, Y, and Z. And that gives us a three coordinate system to locate the position of anything in space, aka three dimensions or 3D. Now you know what I'm talking about. Also, science uses the word dimension in another context. This is a table of quantities that we measure in physics, and these are basic fundamental quantities and these are derived from these fundamental quantities. In other words, these are basic dimensions and these are derived from one or more dimensions. So there you have it. Science itself uses the word dimension in multiple contexts. So what's stopping you? Use it far and wide, use it in different contexts, use it as many times as you like. Humans are a dimension, life is a dimension, problems faced by men are one dimension, while women, that's another dimension. But remember, don't be like Sadhguru, don't overuse the word.
For those people who don't like the word, different dimensions of life, dimension, dimension, dimension. Please stay awake tonight, all of you, dimension people.
You're actually, when you recognize your vibrational frequency, you're drawing into yourself all the time, literally, the vibration that is most like what you're putting out.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot, another way of saying is you cannot have what you're not willing to become vibrationally.
The words vibration and frequency are very popular among people who subscribe to the law of attraction, and Oprah Winfrey is one of the biggest propounders of this law. It's just a fake law that says if you think positive things will happen to you. If you want something badly in life, just think about it and you will manifest it around you. You will attract that thing towards you. There are many famous people that will ascribe everything in their success solely to this law, but they're forgetting about survivorship bias. The people who are successful can ascribe their success to anything, and in our emotional need to be successful ourselves, we tend to listen to them and do exactly everything they say. The idea is very useful to run scams on, because if people listen to your poetic sounding advice and they still don't succeed, hey, you hold no responsibility, because it's very easy to claim that they probably didn't work hard enough. Anyway, I'm digressing. We're talking about the words vibration and frequencies here. Again, let's learn what the words actually mean before I show you how to use them. Whenever something goes back and forth, like a tuning fork or a guitar string or a wave, that's called a vibration. It's also called oscillations if they're slow enough, but hey, that word doesn't have a ring to it. So let's stick with vibration. Now, how many times does this motion happen in a second? That's called its frequency. I know what you're thinking. What does this have anything to do with the way the law of attraction uses it? Well, the words vibration and frequency are meant to be used in the place of a quality of something or a characteristic. Like, for example, something might have positive vibrations, this person might have negative vibrations. I know it's vague, but it's meant to be that way, because between you and me, this is complete bullshit. But people are gonna hear advanced physics concepts like the string theory and how strings vibrate in higher dimensions with a certain frequency, and they're gonna hear all that and they're gonna associate it with our law of attraction and think it's valid. Yay, that's more points for us.
Quantum healing is very simple, I'll tell you. Quantum healing is you create your own thoughts, and these are quantum thoughts. And the thoughts heal you. Because if you go a little deep into quantum physics, the Planck's quotient says every second, your matter and energy change 1044 times, which is called the Planck's constant. And just as every atom knows the blueprint of a molecule, every energy knows the blueprint of a matter.
I think quantum theory has a lot of things to say about observer effect. There are a school of physicists who believe that quantum leaps, for example, are examples of discontinuity. And creativity in consciousness is also an example of discontinuity. And that healing may be a biological phenomenon that relies on biological creativity.
The reason this word is so popular among bullshitting champions like Deepak Chopra and Dr. B.M. Hegde is because it's used mostly in the context of quantum physics, which most people find extremely hard to understand, as this quote by Richard Feynman himself states. You should see this as an opportunity. This is a perfect example of a word that you can use to give yourself more credibility, and no one's probably gonna question you on it because they probably don't understand it themselves. But just be careful, don't try to push your luck like this one time Deepak Chopra did in Caltech in a room full of physicists, where he did what he usually does in front of normal audiences.
The deeper point here, and this is where the whole style and content of what you're saying is so deeply unscientific, is that there's not a physicist sitting on this stage right now. Okay, I would never be tempted to lecture a room full of 1,000 people at Caltech about physics. I'm not a physicist. You're not a physicist, and basically every sentence demonstrates that you speak on the subject. Now, please don't take this as ad hominem. I mean, I'm talking about specifically what you said. But what you do, and what many people who try to invoke spooky physics do in the service of propping up their religious and New Age intuitions, is that they think that because what you're saying, because quantum mechanics is spooky and difficult to understand, and because what you're saying is spooky and difficult to understand, they must somehow be related.
Don't get caught with your pants down.
Above all, once your energies are in a certain way, what somebody does in 24 hours, you may do it in 6 hours. Or what you do in 24 hours, somebody may do it in 3 days.
The energy circuit in your biomemory and muscle memory gets connected to your bioenergy and able to keep that circuit alive forever is power.
If there was one word that would get all the pseudoscience lovers lured in, even if they have to crawl over broken glass to get to you, that word is energy. As you just saw, it's very versatile. It can be used in so many different contexts. It's very powerful. Spiritual energy, healing energy, crystal energy, energy medicine, life energy, prana or chi in case you're Chinese. Now, what does the word actually mean and how do you use it? Well, in physics, when you have energy, you can do work. And when work is done on you, your energy goes up. Very simple. But it's not that simple outside of physics. It's vague enough that you can use it in so many versatile different contexts and get away with it. Our boy String is a big fan of this word.
The energy waves reverberated by the gopuram will pass straight and touch the antenna kind of arrangement here and stored in the energy format.
When people hear the word energy, all kinds of different images pop up in their heads, most of which aren't true, but find enough such people and you have a literal gold mine in your hands.
What happens to electron A happens simultaneously to electron B.
Like soulmates.
And that's called entanglement.
Oh, okay.
And it's a quantum physics thing. So this has been proven by scientific experiments, etc. So when you think of that same thing of, hey, I thought of someone and that person connect, something is getting communicated.
100%.
Right?
To shift from me to we, to understand that our entanglement actually, which is now extending through social networks, through Twitter, through Facebook, through our communication right now, our entanglement gives us the means to regulate the flow of energy and information.
Entanglement is a quantum physics phenomena where two or more subatomic particles have quantum states that are linked with each other in such a way that if you measure the state of one particle, you automatically know the state of the other even without measuring it, even if the particles are light years apart. I know, very spooky, complicated physics, but the important thing is this phenomena has an air of mystery around it which you can use for your advantage. Most people just don't understand it, and if you have context like a magician saying hocus pocus to do his trick, hey, you can use entanglement as an explanation, just like this guy did to explain away Reiki using the concept of entanglement. Remember, whenever you have anything in your hands that can't be explained, but you want to explain it in a way that people can't decode easily, use entanglement. We've come to the end of the list of scientific words that you can use to sell your pseudoscience, but fear not, there are way more words that you can use to strike a chord with your audience. These words use the idea that you have been asleep all this while, and by eating the red pill, which is a Matrix reference, you have attained forbidden knowledge which has now awakened or made you conscious. And the pineal gland, which is a gland right here in your brain where your third eye should be, is often used as a term along with these words. There are many Instagram conspiracy theory pages that use these words in their title. Go give them a follow and learn the tricks of the trade. This is a law of attraction word. You think about something enough and you will manifest it around you. Hey, are you broke? Just think enough about cash and you will manifest some cash around you. Use this word to pepper into your speeches and you will attract all the law of attraction people. These are again some words that you should pepper into your speech every now and then to gather all the people who believe in auras and the universality of consciousness. They'll buy everything you have to say and most of the things that you have to sell. Now these last two sets of words, I can see they're being used less and less. They're probably going out of fashion, but fear not, new words will come out to replace them, and when they do, I'll be right here to make an updated video. I'm telling you guys, gullible people with money are like a gold mine. If we don't take advantage of them, then who will? So share this video with your friends who want to learn the tricks of the trade. These are words, when you hear them, your ears should perk up because, hey, I'm about to hear some pseudoscience. If you can think of any more such words, feel free to share them in the comments. Use them for your business, go right ahead. Just remember, don't overuse them or you'll end up like Sadhguru. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, remember, science is dope.
Feminine is not a gender, it is a dimension.
Dimension, dimension. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Dimension, dimension, dimension. Dimension, dimension, dimension.